Mr. Director, worry not. We'll make sure your agency is adequately funded. This judge you arrested in Wisconsin, she was breaking federal law, wasn't she?
Yes, that's why we arrested her.
She was helping an illegal immigrant escape being taken into custody. Is that right?
Yes, and the field agents decided to open the case, work the case.
And as Americans, do we get to pick and choose which laws we want to follow?
We do not.
If you're a state court judge, do you get to decide you don't want to follow federal law?
No.
And if you violate federal law, you get arrested, don't you?
Yes, Senator.
That's called equal treatment under the law, isn't it?
Yes, Senator.
You remember Lisa Page and Peter Strzok, don't you?
Yes, Senator.
Mr. Strzok worked for the FBI. Mr. Strzok worked for the FBI. I think Ms. Page worked for Justice. The Inspector General found in its investigation that they hated President Trump and they really wanted Secretary Clinton to win. Is that true?
That's correct, sir.
And this would be the same same Ms. Page who sent an email to Mr. Strzok with whom she was having an affair. Trump's not ever going to become president, right? Right? And Mr. Strzok with the FBI, senior official at the FBI replied, quote, no, he won't. We'll stop it. Did I read that correctly?
You did, Senator.
Okay. Now, Ms. Page got quit before she could get fired. Mr. Strzok was fired. And predictably, they filed a lawsuit because in Washington, it's easier to divorce your spouse than it is to fire a federal employee. Why did the FBI give Mr. Strzok $1.2 million and Ms. Page $800,000 to settle a lawsuit?
Senator, I do not know that settlement was reached in the prior administration.
Who made the decision?
The prior Department of Justice.
Who in the prior Department of Justice?
The settlement for that kind of case can only come from the Attorney General, which would be Attorney General Merrick Garland.
So the Attorney General decided to give Mr. Strzok $1.2 million and Ms. Page $800,000 after they were fired after actively interfering in the 2016 election. Is that right?
My understanding is that was a settlement they agreed to.
Pass me the sick bucket, please. The Hunter Biden laptop. In October of 2016, shortly before the election, the New York Post wrote a story that was widely covered talking about Mr. Hunter Biden's influence peddling scheme based on his laptop. A couple of weeks later, Secretary of State, soon-to-be Secretary of State, Antony Blinken, organized a group of 51 so-called intelligence experts. Had some real rock stars on the list. Jim Clapper, John Brennan, Michael Hayden, Leon Panetta, and they said, oh, no, the story in the New York Post is not true. It's based on Russian disinformation. You remember that?
Welcome back to the channel. Today, a heated exchange on Capitol Hill as senators press federal officials on high-profile legal controversies, from the arrest of a judge to FBI settlements, the Hunter Biden laptop, and even lingering questions about Jeffrey Epstein. Let's break down the key moments. Senators began by questioning the director about the recent arrest of a state judge in Wisconsin. The judge was accused of violating federal law by allegedly helping an undocumented immigrant avoid custody.
Can anyone judge or not choose which federal laws to follow? No. If you break federal law, you get arrested. That's equal justice under the law.
The questioning then shifted to former FBI officials Lisa Page and Peter Strzok, who were investigated for anti-Trump messages during the 2016 election. Despite being removed from their positions, they reportedly received large settlement payouts, over $1 million for Strzok and $800,000 for Page.
Why did the Department of Justice reward officials accused of bias with million-dollar settlements? Pass me the sick bucket.
Another major flashpoint, the Hunter Biden laptop. Senators questioned why, despite the FBI possessing the laptop for months, 51 former intelligence officials publicly dismissed it as Russian disinformation right before the 2020 election.
The FBI knew it wasn't Russian propaganda. Who stopped the truth from reaching the American people? I want a name, not a division.
The hearing ended with a question that continues to fuel public debate. Jeffrey Epstein, was it suicide or foul play?
Did Epstein hang himself or was he killed?
Senator, we believe he died by suicide.
Will all related information be released?
We're working with the Justice Department to do so, while protecting victims.
This tense exchange highlights growing demands for transparency and accountability from election integrity to federal investigations. We'll continue following every development. Let us know in the comments, should the FBI release all documents on these cases?
I do, Senator, as the lead investigator for Russiagate for the House Intel Committee.
Yeah. The FBI had had the laptop for 10 months, hadn't they?
They did, Senator.
So the FBI knew right before the election that it wasn't Russian disinformation, didn't they?
And that was confirmed by the Inspector General's report.
Yeah. Who at the FBI refused to let the FBI tell the American people the truth?
I don't have that name in front of me, sir.
Well, would you look?
I will, sir.
I'd like to know. I'd like a name, not a division. I'd like the name. Person with a brain and a beating heart.
Yes, sir.
Did Jeffrey Epstein hang himself or did somebody kill him?
Senator, I believe he hung himself in a cell in the Metropolitan Detention Center.
Are you going to release all the information about that?
Senator, we are working through that right now with the Department of Justice.
When do you think you'll have it done, Cash?
I think in the near future, sir.
Like before I die?
Senator, we've been working on that, and we're doing it in a way that protects victims and also doesn't put out into the ether information that is irrelevant for production of the public, such as CSAM.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Senator Reed.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Director. As you're well aware, DOJ